Since the start of LTT, what milestones did you have for the company, and have you surpassed them? Are there any new milestones that you've set that you haven't crossed yet?
I mean, the goal was 4 to 5 people and having enough revenue that we can all make like a real, I want to have a real wage, that was it. From there, it went to, I want to be a real company. And Luke can attest to this. I did actually do the voice, and I did actually say that like 7, 8, 9 years ago. I've been saying it since very early.
Definitely happened in that exact voice. Yeah.
I want to be a real company.
1 million was pretty cool.
Yeah. 1 million was cool. 10 million
honestly
was
didn't really
complicated.
care. Yeah.
I did a lot of personal reflection at 10 million just because
Right.
so much of my life has been poured into this. I'd say for me personally, my goal is for that real company to be able to function without me. That's
a big one.
That's the next level, because there's a big difference between a CEO that is running a successful company and a good CEO. And to me, just because this company is successful with me at the helm doesn't actually mean that I built a good company. The true measure of a good company is that the culture and the hustle
Can
and
survive with mismanagement.
the decision
And then you give it a
making
good manager.
can survive without me. So that's really my next goal, and that's a big part of why Labs is so important, because right now I feel like it's my personal passion that drives a lot of the change in our content. And it's not just me. There are different kinds of changes that are driven by different people. The camera department is notorious for constantly pushing me for better production values, for example. The HDR R&D that is being done here has not been done by me. I had a briefing with Ed on it today where I was like, oh, what have you been working on for the last while? And he showed me all the stuff that we've been doing, all the calls we've been having we've been talking with YouTube, we've been talking with Adobe, learning how to use these tools. It's like, oh, okay, well, cool. Well, we got them. Keep at it, right? Like, but I feel like that passion that drove me to stay up till the middle of the night, replying to people's threads on the forum to make sure they didn't buy the right thing, that's something that we don't have an obvious internal replacement for. And our writers are great, but you need that. It has to trickle down. You know what I mean? Like the writers and the editors and the shooters, they're not the bosses of each other. Do you kind of get what I mean? And so if you can't have an individual that is injecting that passion and that drive, then what you need is a department whose entire job is to have that drive. And so that's a big part of why Labs exists, because one of the things
to pull something into a more of an analytical space so that you can create actionable items instead of just forcing it to be passion all the time.
Yes, exactly. Arm the team with the tools that make it easy to put that analysis into the work that they do. And it's not, the lab is not just for video reviews. The lab is for consumers. The lab is for our business team. Man, one of the first things I want the lab doing once they are fully set up is vetting sponsors. I mean, when we have a charger company come in and say, okay, we've got a 65-watt charger, it's this small, make sure. And if it's 66 watts, then let's talk about that. And if it's 64, well, then we're changing the talking points, damn it. And like, I feel like it's the solution to so many, maybe not necessarily problems, but future potential pitfalls. Having that team in place and building out that infrastructure.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to Secret Lab for sponsoring this week's clips. Secret Lab chairs are engineered to keep you comfy, and with up to 5 years of warranty and a 49-day return policy, you're covered if anything goes wrong. Head to the link in the description to get your Secret Lab chair today.